Good morning, Africa. Bonjour, Africa. I am Wanjiko Hyoho, and once again, welcome to my channel, Youth of Africa. You see, the Bible says in Luke chapter 8, verse 16, that nobody lights a lamp, and I'm going to show you my lamp, which is my candle. Nobody lights a lamp and then hides it under a jar of clay. And myself, I have a cup. Yes, so what happens when you light a candle? You put it on a stand so that everybody else can see it, or so that it can illuminate the room and it causes everyone to see where they're going. And again, the Bible says in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, that we are the light of the world. We are cities set on a hill. You see, this tells us, Youth of Africa, that we are the light of the world. We are the light of Africa. And we have been put in Africa for such a time as this, so that we may illuminate in Africa, so that we may be the change we want Africa to be. So for now, I'll put this off. Now, you see, it's very important how God sees us. And now He sees us as the light of the world. Therefore, this should cause us to charge up and arise and shine, because we have to be what we want Africa to be. Therefore, as a Youth of Africa, I want to encourage you, despite the challenges that you have gone through in life or are going through at the moment. You know, there are many setbacks in life. There is a failure. Perhaps you had education failure. Perhaps you had an early marriage and it did not work. Perhaps you have failed in business. Perhaps you've been rejected by your family and friends. Or it may be that you feel that the government systems have failed you. Now, these things can lead us to hide. These things can cause us to feel we do not have the energy to arise and shine, or to light up the world as my candle was doing. But I want to encourage us, don't allow that to happen to you. Don't allow yourself to be hidden by those setbacks in life or by the challenges you're going through. Don't allow yourself to be hidden by the stress and the depression that you have gone through over a certain period of time or could be going through. Now, during this quarantine period or the stay-at-home period, we might find ourselves hiding. We might find ourselves hiding behind our phones. We might find ourselves perhaps hiding behind a certain movie or a certain series, and we are watching this series, movie, from morning to evening. Or we find ourselves just seated with our family and just talking about nothing. Now, we must take care, because after COVID-19, life must continue. And therefore, I feel during this time, in order for us to have the energy to arise and shine after this, we need to reevaluate our lives. And how do I think we should reevaluate our lives? Number one, we need to have a routine. We need to have a timetable. We cannot just wake up in the morning and live up our lives that way without a plan of the day. Therefore, we need to have a routine. We need to say, I'm going to wake up today. Today I need to do this and this and this. And by the end of the day, I need to have done this. And when we do that, we'll have some sort of sanity. We'll be able to see the things we have achieved at the close of day. I also feel during this quarantine period that we need to get up early. We cannot say that we'll be waking up at 10 a.m. or at 11 a.m. And I'm not saying that you wake up in the wee hours like 3 a.m. or so. But if you can, that's good. But you need to wake up early. Why am I saying you need to wake up early? Perhaps when you wake up early, you can read a book. It could be a hard copy or an online book. It could be, or even a soft copy. It could be doing an online course. It could be, sitting down and thinking about your life. There are many things when you wake up early you are able to do. But I also feel during this quarantine period, as a Youth of Africa, you need to spend time with God. I always feel that God plays a very important role in my life, and I believe He does also in your life. When we spend time praying and reading the Word, we get direction towards our life. And I feel that after COVID-19, there will be many things that we need to do, but we need to have a direction. We need to know that this is what I need to do. And when we spend time with God, we get that direction towards our life's goals. But besides that, we need to set quarantine goals. I mean, we need to set some goals, revolving around this quarantine period. For example, it could be reading a book, as I had mentioned earlier. It could be decluttering your house. Perhaps there's a certain place in your house that needs to be arranged. You need to do that during this period. You need to arrange your wardrobe, It could be teaching a skill that you have learned in the past. You need to teach others that skill during, through our online platforms. It could also be learning to cook a certain recipe from YouTube. So there are lots of things or lots of goals that you can set during this quarantine period, and you ensure that you have done them. But I also think finally that during this period, we need to rethink our finances. And I am not blaming anybody. I am not blaming your saving criteria, or I'm not saying that you are a failure. I could also be going through the same thing. It is a time that we need to rethink our finances. And perhaps after this COVID-19, we will realize that we need to change jobs, or we will realize that we need to set up a new business. Maybe this business has not been working, or you realize that you've been doing a very big budget and you need to scale down to something smaller. Maybe you realize that you've been buying things that are unnecessary. So it's a time to rethink your finances and your spending ways, so that at the end of it all, you will have a better way of doing things. And so I feel when we do those things, we'll be able to rise and shine, because our light has come. And remember, we are the light of the world. We are the light of Africa. And that's it for today. Goodbye.